Its energy surrounds us and binds us.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Carbonite Convos podcast. If this is your first time joining us, you've just taken your first step into a larger world. And like always, if this is not your first episode with us, we can't thank you again for coming back for another one. Today is episode 46. And, with all the Marvel news, rumors, and everything, we decided to just go, the weekly roundup lane where, we just kind of talk about the stuff that's come out in the Marvel world, a little Star Wars, but mainly Marvel, and just dive into some of that. So, everybody tuning in on TikTok live, can't thank you enough. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure to be live in that chat. If you have anything to say, let us know. But that's all I got. Alec, how we doing?
I'm doing great, man. As always, it's great to be here. If you're tuning in live, thank you very much. If you're checking this out on YouTube or any other podcast platform, thank you as well. Before we get started, always got to throw it out there. Guys, don't forget about our big three. That's like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell button while you're at it. We're just going to kind of break down what's new in Marvel right now. We got a little bit of Star Wars news as well. A lot in the works going on. Shang-Chi came out a few weeks ago. We talked about that on the last podcast episode. The trailer for Hawkeye dropped today. We'll be talking about that here in a little bit. We got some interesting theories to talk about as well. We got those typical things, but I'm ready to go right into it, man.
Sounds good. So what do you want to talk about first? Do you want to kind of get this Star Wars thing out of the way?
Yeah, let's just throw it out there. That's not the theme of today, but let's just get that news out there because I thought this fact is pretty cool.
Yeah. So, Star Wars Visions, it comes out next week. And I thought it was going to be like a lot of these other Marvel and Star Wars projects on Disney Plus, where we get one episode a week. Alec and I record on either Tuesday or Thursday night. So it comes out Wednesday or Friday, based on when the episode comes out. But Star Wars Visions is not that way. For all the bingers, you guys are really going to love this because all the episodes are dropping at once. So, Alec and I kind of have to figure out how we want to plan our content for that show, because we were going to be doing just traditional reactions like we do, but obviously, we're not going to sit there and go week by week. I want to binge it as well as with everybody else. So, Alec and I are going to have to figure out how we do that. But
I find it interesting that they're releasing everything at once because the stories aren't exactly connected. Again, this is all to our knowledge.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a progressive story. Is it 6 or 8 episodes? I'm not sure off the top of my head, but each one is a different animation studio. Each one is a different story, different place and time. So I find it really interesting.
I'm not sure. All one.
I'm not
story,
sure what the issue is. To my knowledge, it doesn't necessarily connect, which is why I find it a little bit interesting that they're all dropping at once. Because if there is no progression, what was the thought behind that? I like it all dropping at once. To be completely honest, I am a binger. Guilty as charged. So I'm excited to watch them all at once and just see how different everything is moving episode to episode.
That's kind of like how you and I watched the original Tartakovsky Clone Wars a few months back when they put seasons, the only seasons on Disney Plus, which you and I hadn't seen, or at least we hadn't seen any of it
in a long time,
10, 15 years. So that was really cool. Back then we did season 1, season 2, we did 2 reaction, or did we do 4?
We did 4 parts.
We did 4 parts. So 2 parts for season 1, 2 parts for season 2. So yeah, again, we just have to figure out how we're gonna, get content out to you guys. We'll definitely be talking about it on the podcast for sure. But we have some stuff to figure out. But that's kind of all I have Star Wars wise. Do you have anything else before we move on to all this Marvel stuff?
Nope, not Star Wars wise. We're kind of not necessarily in a dry spell right now, but we're between shows, we're in
the tweener
right now. Yeah, but only another week or so, and we got a really, really interesting concept coming out, something we've never seen before. So I am pumped about that. But no, let's go ahead and go and dive into the Marvel related stuff. A lot of stuff has happened in the last week or so. So let's go ahead and just start that list.
Yeah. I know you and I didn't talk about this in the show notes, but I read something on my way home from work just now that Vincent, and I don't know if I'm butchering his name, D'Onofrio, he played, he played Kingpin in the
And Daredevil.
Daredevil show. Apparently, he has been liking like several tweets that you know, are rumoring him appearing in Spider-Man No Way Home. He has no, I'm sorry, not in Spider-Man No Way Home, in Hawkeye.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he has been favoriting a lot of tweets, which is leading a lot of people to believe that he might show up in one of the two shows.
Well, if we've learned anything from Shang-Chi, is that Simu Liu has the ability to do anything through Twitter.
Yeah,
And if he can do it, anybody can do it.
exactly. If we can get Rosario Dawson cast as Ahsoka Tano, like we can do anything.
Dude, Twitter is powerful, man. It makes
is.
moves.
I think one way we can, you know, kind of make this conversation flow better is, you know, if he is coming in Hawkeye, I think it fits very well. You know, Kingpin is he's the kingpin of the crime world. And
Right.
judging off of the trailer we just watched for Hawkeye, it really dives into his past, you know, fighting the underworld as his time as Ronin, in between Infinity War and Endgame.
Absolutely. Well, you know, Ronin again is a vigilante, just like they talk about in the trailer. If you guys haven't checked the trailer out, go watch it and come back.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty interesting, and I was surprised to see the Ronin suit. So if that's going to be one of the main focus of the show, Kingpin would be the absolute perfect villain to be set up for that type of thing. If we're talking about underworld, dark, villainous activity that across, you know, the city of Manhattan and all that, that's the exact perfect person to be cast for that situation.
Oh, it really is. And, you know, we don't have a ton to talk about with the Hawkeye trailer. And if you guys want to go check out our reaction, that will be up tonight on YouTube as well. We just got finished reacting to it. There isn't a ton of information. We got another look at Kate Bishop, Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop. You know, she's wearing her purple suit. She's wearing the Ronin suit. So we didn't get too much because there wasn't a lot of dialogue. There was more action than information, but still, it made me very excited for the show. It's clear that it is a very Christmas centric show. It really has a lot to do with the holidays, but you know, you mentioned that it looks like it might be around the same time as Spider-Man. So, you know, I thought that was super interesting.
So here's a not actually serious, but kind of, this is technically going to be Marvel's second installment of a Christmas themed show or movie. I consider Iron Man 3 to be a Christmas movie. I don't know about you. I might consider this to be a Christmas show after it's over.
Really? I mean, it could be. I don't
Hey,
consider it a
people
movie.
people like to watch Die Hard around Christmas. It's
No,
the same concept.
Of course.
Same thing.
No, it is. It is. There was something else I wanted to talk about, but I just lost it. I thought of it as you were talking about that, and I just lost it. But overall, you know, the trailer was really cool. I think it's really exciting that we're going to be able to dive into how Hawkeye's shady past now for the time between Infinity War and Endgame is kind of shaping his future. So
Sure.
I think that's going to be really, really incredible to dive into. I feel bad because I had something that I wanted to bring up when we were talking about Hawkeye, when you were talking about that. And no, it is not a Christmas movie, but that's a Christmas.
Christmas
Iron Man
show?
3 is not. I mean, it could be.
Hey,
you never know.
if people consider Die Hard a Christmas movie, I consider Iron Man 3 to be a Christmas movie. I will go to my grave for this argument.
Yeah. I mean, while we're speaking of Iron Man 3, Alec and I have actually something really cool in the works. As you can tell behind me, Alec isn't at his house right now with his collection, but you know, we are big Funko Pop collectors, and we do this thing for all of you who are new. We do a list about every other week of 10 pops that they should make from movie X. So we went through the Star Wars prequel trilogy. We went through phase 1 of Marvel, and now we're working through phase 2. So we have our Iron Man 3 video coming out this week. But what is super cool and we're super excited about is that me and Alec were able to partner with a lot of creators on Instagram that make a lot of concept Funko Pops. So what we're actually going to be doing is they are making most of the pops on our list. So before we just listed them, but now we're actually going to have the concepts come to life on screen. So we couldn't be more excited. We got a lot of talented people helping us out. So, we think this is going to take these videos to the next level. So definitely check those out if you're Marvel, Star Wars fans, or just nerd collectors in general. They're going to get
Absolutely,
better moving
man.
forward.
I'm excited for that. It's be game changing as far as those videos go. So guys, come back, check them out. Let us know what you think. We're excited for it. But while we're on the topic, what else is new in Marvel? I mean, we got a new episode of What If last week, the zombies episode. That was an interesting one. Obviously another one coming out tomorrow, but what were your thoughts on the zombies?
I really liked it. I loved Ant-Man's part in it. He's funny as usual. But other than that, I think, and I know you really like this part because you mentioned it on our reaction, is that we got our first mention of Uncle Ben in the MCU. So that's huge. Somehow Peter's able to stay so positive through losing Tony, Uncle Ben, Aunt May, and now Happy in that episode. Spoilers, sorry.
Now, it's a zombie apocalypse. We can assume that everybody has lost everybody at this point.
You are not wrong, but I was impressed with the episode as a whole, and we got a huge cliffhanger at the end with zombie Thanos holding 5 of the Infinity Stones. So I'm very anxious for tomorrow's episode.
I've loved how the series has progressed, and by that I mean, let's go back and look at the Captain Carter episode. In my honest opinion, this seemed a little childish, if you ask me, but as it's progressed, it's gotten, I don't want to use the word darker because that's not the case, but it has gotten a little bit more adult, a little bit more themed towards what the MCU has been about these last 12 15 years, and it's slowly but surely progressing us into something that is going to be a multiversal cluster of some sort coming together. So I'm super excited about that, and I've really loved how the show's progressed so far. We go from, again, Captain Carter, it's a little bit more like, oh, let's go get him, just kind of how Captain America was, and now it's okay. Now Doctor Strange is becoming evil. Okay, now when Janet Van Dyne came back from the quantum realm, she brought back this zombie virus that completely annihilated the Earth within a week. So things are getting a lot more intense very rapidly, and I'm a fan of it.
No, 100%. And this wasn't one of the theories that I came prepared with tonight, but have you seen the theory about all these timelines for the What If series in general?
No.
So we didn't know. These are canon timelines. They are in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They're part of the multiverse, but we didn't know if they were stories that have been around or if they're new stories. And something that the Watcher says at the beginning, in the intro of each episode, gives us the confirmation that these timelines are new, because he says, join us as we, I wish I knew the exact
These are my stories.
Well, join us for these new stories, for these new timelines. So he even says that these timelines are new. And I assume that they're new after the multiverse broke open, either in WandaVision or Loki, combination of the two. So yeah, there's
interesting.
Yeah, so I thought that was.
That would make sense, because in my opinion, there's a reason that What If came out after Loki. Loki introduces the multiversal break, and then What If is just, I think it's going to be one of the first examples of how I think it's just an example of setting up how the multiverse works, because I don't think these stories are like that dramatic or that necessarily important to the MCU, at least for right now. They may have tie-ins later.
We don't know.
But I think right now, in my honest opinion, it's almost like training wheels for what the MCU is becoming, because it's saying, hey, okay, well, let's go back and let's just say Janet had the zombie apocalypse, and the zombie apocalypse happens, yada, yada, yada. In the grand scheme of things, it really isn't going to affect the MCU that much, but it's just preparing us for the type of event that is going to come in some movie or show in the near future.
Definitely. And I think Marvel's timing is so incredible. I would love to just see the master whiteboard calendar that they have for the MCU when it comes to trailers, episodes, movies, how they drop everything in order. Because if you think of how much planning, obviously, you know, they're making a universe, so no ish that there's going to be a lot of planning. But when you think about, it's not just planning, okay, Loki needs to come out before What If, WandaVision needs to come out before Loki. It goes in such a, not pristine, but such a what's the word
It's
I'm
very
looking for?
exact.
Yes, for lack of a better, a very exact order, because you think of, goes WandaVision,
Very
Falcon Winter Soldier,
precise.
Loki. Then Loki helps break open the multiverse, and then we get What If, which that's no coincidence. The Spider-Man No Way Home trailer leaks, and then the next day it is officially released. So people kind of think that it was released because it got leaked, but I think it was all part of their plan, because the next day, the episode about Doctor Strange comes out, and one of the biggest questions about Doctor Strange was how he was acting in the No Way Home trailer. So to go from Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki, What If episodes 1 to 3, Spider-Man trailer episodes 4, 5, like I would love to see that master whiteboard where they have all this planned out. It's incredible.
Dude, I completely agree. That's actually phenomenal. I'm actually really glad you brought up the Doctor Strange weirdness in the No Way Home trailer, because have you heard this recent theory about him?
No.
So I heard this
maybe.
this really cool theory the other day. Okay. And basically it says that the Sinister Six are not actually going to be the main antagonists of No Way Home. That Doctor Strange is actually going to be the main antagonist, because Doctor Strange knows that this multiverse is getting completely ripped open in every which direction. So he casts this spell that brings all these, you know, Spider-Man villains into this reality, right?
Yeah.
He does that because he knows they're a threat to the multiverse. They're a threat to everyone here, yada, yada. But he's bringing them there to contain them all in one place. And in the trailer, it actually shows Doctor Strange and Spider-Man briefly fighting on the train scene. At least it makes it seem that way, oriented that way. And that Peter is trying to get them all sent back to their own realities, because he's, you know, they're causing him trouble. And Doctor Strange wants to keep and contain them here. So Peter and Strange are actually end up going up against each other, because they have, you know, opposite causes.
Wow, that is super interesting. That is super interesting.
You know, it could be, we have no idea. But the multiverse, literally anything is possible. So I'm actually very interested to see, because that would have made a lot of sense to me.
So it would make a lot of sense, but that kind of perfectly mirrors the theory that I was going to come with. So have you seen the theory? Have you seen the theory about how Spider-Man is actually the one that has switched timelines?
No.
All right, so I'm glad you haven't. So the theory is that Peter is the one that has switched timelines instead of the villains, because the general belief right now, and judging by all these other theories, is that Doc Ock, Electro, Green Goblin, the rest of the Sinister Six and all these villains, they have come over from their respected universes, whether it be Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man or Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. But I don't, that might not be the case. So the names of Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home, they both reference Peter himself. Homecoming, it's both the dance and he's coming home. Spider-Man Far From Home, he is physically far from New York. He's far from what he's known. What is the name of this movie?
No Way Home.
No Way Home.
He can't get home.
So that is one of the main things that's leading people to believe that all the titles talk about Peter himself. Sure. So this is talking about him not being able to find a way back to his reality. And another thing that kind of not confirms it, but kind of makes the theory more succinct, is that there is a shot in the Spider-Man trailer where it looks like Peter's kind of falling into a multiversal hole. So, this very well could be Peter going to one of their universes instead of them coming to ours.
That's really interesting. I can imagine, if that is true, if that he's being sent to Andrew's universe,
You
because
said that last week. Yeah.
because that's technically that is technically the Sony universe up to date. The theory is that the Venom, this recent movie coming out, takes place in the Andrew universe, which is why him living in San Francisco has never been brought up in the Amazing Spider-Man movies. But different story, different conversation. Yet whatever, that would make a lot of sense to me if Tom is the one that's going there.
Oh, I'm sorry, when you said Tom, I was thinking Tom Hardy, Venom. I was like, wait, no, that's backwards. I said the opposite, but yes, that makes it. No, exactly. So I think that's going to be, every time I talk about this movie, I just get more excited because I really don't think that we're ready for what's going to happen. And, with the stuff that happened with Spider-Man and Marvel and Sony a couple years back in 2019, remember when we lost hope of Spider-Man? Do you remember that? Like
Well,
that was
I
depressing.
do. We talked a lot, and that was before, not too
Carbonite
long
Convos.
before Carbonite Convos was a thing.
Yeah.
I was disappointed, man, and it's made me realize like everything does happen for a reason. Things will work out. At the end of the day, all the companies involved realize there's a ton of money to be made. So I think they ended up putting their differences aside to realize okay, we have to give people this character because, dude, No Way Home is going to be the most anticipated event of the year.
Oh, 100%. I'd say it's the most anticipated event since Endgame.
It's up there.
Yeah, like, dude.
It has an opportunity. It has an opportunity to gross way more money than Endgame ever did, which is saying something.
It's just the fact that you have there are plenty of MCU fans, plenty of Marvel fans, all of this, but the fact that they are going to be able to hit so many different age groups is incredible because, we grew up with Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, but also other people were older than us. There were teenagers and people like us that are like 20, 25 years old that went to see Spider-Man in theaters too, who are 45 now. So they're going to be, they're getting little kids because, it's Spider-Man. They're getting all the ages in between there because they've made something for every age group. And the fact that most likely we're going to see Tobey Maguire, we're going to see Andrew Garfield, everybody and their mom is going to see this. And I'm sorry if it's like any other Marvel movie, for the most part, we're going to see it multiple times.
Oh, bro. I mean, hopefully this works out. We're actually planning a little vacation trip right around those dates.
Yep.
And if it works out in our favor, we're actually going to be in the same place at the same time on release date.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, I hope to God we can see it together.
Yeah, I know.
We'll have to do a breakdown right after. I am pumped for it. Speaking of those movies, I actually watched the first Spider-Man movie with my girlfriend last night. She's never seen them, so we're watching through them.
What are you doing, bro?
What do you mean?
How have you, bro? You are the Spider-Man guy.
No, my girlfriend's never seen them.
I know. If you told me now that you didn't see the Spider-Man movies, you'd be the biggest fraud in the world.
No,
I know you have, but the fact that how long have you guys been dating? Like almost a year.
Yeah.
And you have not watched Spider-Man with her?
Okay. In her defense,
what?
We watched through the MCU and Star Wars already. So
I get that. No,
that's a lot. That's a lot of movies and a couple other shows as well. Anyways, no, we watched it last night, so we have plenty of time to make sure we can get through it all. Maybe even go back and do it again.
Yeah.
And it got me so excited for if Willem Dafoe is actually going to make an appearance in this movie. A revamped version of that Green Goblin suit might give everyone nightmares, but I think it's going to be so badass.
What was that meme you told me about the other day?
It was a picture of Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin, and it was a picture of Willem Dafoe in Aquaman, and it said Willem Dafoe and Willem the Friend.
Dude,
I was like, that's perfect.
That was funny.
It's perfect.
We need to do that meme episode that you and I talked about not years ago, like several months ago, where we just sit there and go through Marvel memes and Star Wars memes. Because, dude, some of those people are geniuses. Like, they make me literally laugh my ass off.
Absolutely. While we're on the topic of Spider-Man, let's just talk about this very briefly. How about that Spider-Man 2 video game trailer that got announced the other day?
Dude, I didn't even realize it, man. I'm hype. I am super hype. I'm just a little confused.
It's slated for a 2023 release, so that's going to give us plenty of time to get a PS5.
Deadass. Dude, for
hopefully,
real,
hopefully
man.
they're available by then. Who knows?
God.
They've also announced a Wolverine game made by Insomniac Games as well, set in the same universe. So I don't know if they're setting up a video game universe or what, but it looks unreal. I am so pumped for the Spider-Man 2 game. They look like they revamped both Miles and Peter's suits.
Yeah.
And then we got an appearance by the symbiote himself, Mr. Venom. I am fired up for that.
I think what I'm confused about is throughout and if you haven't watched the trailer, go check it out. But throughout the trailer, we hear this man talking, saying, I've always been looking for it. You don't see the man, but you see all these clips of Peter and Miles fighting, other not villains, just bad guys around the city, and just making awesome web moves. Miles has his electricity, like it's dope. And you hear him talking, and he says, "I've been looking for someone who can match me, who's a good competition for me, maybe even beat me. Are you those guys?" And then it pans into a dark alley, and then you hear Venom say, "We are," or something along those lines, like, "Yes, we are." So this whole time you think he's talking to Spidey and to Peter and Miles, but he was talking to Venom.
Well, it's interesting because that you bring that up, because off the bat, I thought it sounded like Rhino in his accent, but there's no way it could be him because it was slightly a different. The reason I get why you thought it was Venom, but
no. I didn't think that person was Venom.
Whatever it was, there was no way that could have been Venom talking, because it's either going to be Eddie Brock or Flash Thompson, if I had to guess, whoever's inside of the Venom symbiote. And obviously neither of them have that accent. So I can't imagine who that would necessarily be.
Dude, and Spider-Man a lot more than I do, but the vibe I got from it the whole time, well, towards the end when they're panning into the alley, was Lizard, because you hear him talk with a very like scaly voice, and he kind of does almost like Bosk, how he talks. He talks like a reptilian. He sounded like a reptilian towards the end of his little speech, and then you hear Venom. So I don't know how that could tie in. Again, you know it better than I do, but dude, it was very.
Also, I correct myself. Venom is Harry Osborn in the game. At the end of the first video game, it showed Harry in like the vat of green goo, and his father says something like, "All right, release it," or whatever, and it shows the symbiote start to crawl up him.
Huh.
So Harry Osborn is Venom in the video game, but Peter and Harry don't know each other. They're not friends in the video game universe.
Well, not that we know about.
I don't think.
You think?
Oh no, they were friends. They were friends. They
just
hadn't seen each other for a long time. Peter thinks he's on some long vacation.
Yes, I was about to say. I was like, wait. I could have, but I didn't want to sound dumb. I was like, I could have swore that
you're right.
that we saw that. Yeah.
So Lizard could make sense. I could also see maybe Scorpion or I don't know. The video games have kind of flipped up the villains, to an extent, as far as the famous Spider-Man villains. But I think that they've done a good job with it. So I'm excited. We got 2 more years to find out, but
that sucks.
It does. But again,
I haven't even
some time
Miles.
to save up for your PS5. Miles is great. You should.
I haven't even played that one. I meant to buy it, but I got caught up. I played Battlefront last night, Battlefront 2 for the first time in like a long time last night. It was super fun. I was kicking ass as Luke.
Very nice.
All right, so let's get into all right. So both of the theories I brought were kind of Spider-Man involved. So have you seen the theory about Doc Ock from the Spider-Man trailer?
No.
All right, so a lot of people, since seeing it, clearly Dr. Octopus is a main Spider-Man villain, iconic Spider-Man villain.
Absolutely.
But a lot of people were thinking that because of the ending of Spider-Man 2, he might not actually be a villain in this movie. But I was reading this theory that it doesn't prove it, but it suggests that he 100% is the villain, because when you see Dr. Octopus in Spider-Man 2 from years and years ago, when he's showing off the
arms,
the tentacles, they glow white in the middle. And then when they take over his brain, they glow red. So that's how you can tell he was bad. So when he's doing all the stuff throughout the city in Spider-Man 2, they're always glowing red. And then right at the end, when he was able to take over his own mind again, you saw that the tentacles glowed white again.
Right.
So the reason why we think that he is 100% a villain in Spider-Man No Way Home is that when you see the tentacles, they are glowing red. So I thought that was super cool, because those are the tiny details that Marvel doesn't miss on. So I figured that might be a good one.
No, you're absolutely right, and that would make sense as far as like, red is associated with a villainous color. That actually plays into another thought with when they show Doc Ock in the trailer, and he says at this point very infamous "Hello, Peter."
Hello, Peter.
Right before they had showed Tom Holland's Peter on top of that car dressed in like a nice suit. It is that is the exact same suit, like, nice looking
material,
jacket, everything that Toby was wearing in Spider-Man 2. So Marvel has done a unreal job at, faking these trailers, like just like Infinity War, where it showed Hulk running in Wakanda, but in reality it was Hulkbuster. They can edit and make it whatever they want. There's a good chance that was actually Toby with Tom's face CGI'd on him.
I mean, it might not even be Tom's face CGI'd on him. It's just that might be,
or just a fake.
Yeah,
they redid the scene with him.
Yeah,
just to keep us on our toes.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I can't wait. I feel like we're gonna talk about Spider-Man in like every podcast episode moving.
Dude,
forward.
I'm trying to stay off. I'm trying to avoid all these like leaked, footage of clips and stuff. But I've seen a couple up to this point, dude. I don't know how we wouldn't get Andrew and Toby in this at this point, man.
All right, let's say that the original plan was not to have them in it. If they, after everything from the past 2 years, that the rumors, the coincidences, they're too high to be coincidences. Like all this stuff, let's say they weren't in the original plan. I think, to keep the fans happy, it might be in their best interest to have them in it.
Just do it.
Because that would have, if they are not in it whatsoever, if they are not in it, I won't even know what to think. Like, obviously, I'm not going to stop liking Marvel, but it's like, man, how many
it's
leaks,
just a
rumors,
missed opportunity.
and like, how many of these things have to happen for us to, believe that they're going to be in it? Yeah, that's all I have on Spider-Man, though.
I don't know, man. It's December 17th cannot come quick enough. That's all I have to say.
I get it.
But we still got a few months until that comes out. But what's the most recent things that are going to be coming to theaters here in the next 3 months? We got an October 1st Venom Let There Be Carnage release date.
Yeah, buddy.
Super pumped that they brought that up a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm hyped to see Carnage in live action. That's going to be absolutely unreal. I will be there opening night. I'm sure you will as well. Yes, pumped for that. And then we have
maybe not opening night.
I'm
depending on what the
I will
day
be
is,
there
but
right away.
If I can, I will definitely be there opening night.
It's a Friday.
Then I will be there opening night.
Yes, sir.
As long as the Rays aren't playing a playoff game that night. Rays up, baby.
Hopefully there is. Anyways, besides that, our next in theater release is going to be Eternals. And what is that? That's sometime in November, right?
November 5th.
Interesting. I'm excited for that one, man. I don't know about you.
I think what made me the most excited was the trailer that they played before the Shang-Chi movie, because I really didn't know what the premise of this movie was before that trailer. I don't know. So I wasn't very excited about it, but after seeing the trailer that they played before Shang-Chi, I am super excited about it because I understand what it's about now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't know. I don't have too much to say about Eternals, but I'm very excited for it.
While we're talking about it, have you heard about this most recent Eternals theory?
Lay it on me.
Okay, so everyone's asking, if the Eternals are so strong, where have they been this entire time, right?
Yeah.
So the theory is that the youngest member, her name is Sprite. She has the ability to manipulate reality, cast spells, that type of magical power. Okay, so the theory is something bad happened early on in the movie that makes them basically go into hiding. That Sprite casts some sort of spell to make them live very regular lives. That's why we kind of see them wearing regular clothes and spread out all around the world, basically living, the life of a regular person. But when the snap happens, it causes so much cosmic energy that it actually breaks that spell, and it opens their mind to remember their past lives as superheroes, and that this movie is going to be basically them remembering all these past events, and basically getting their memories back. And at the end, now that the Avengers aren't necessarily around, they'll kind of step up and take that place, to kind of protect the universe.
I mean, I agree with that. It's not really a theory. That's kind of the premise of the movie. I'd say the only theory part of it is like the first half where, she cast a spell and that's what made them like this, because Selma Hayek's character says in the trailer that they were not meant to interfere with anything on Earth or anything like in our universe, except if deviants were involved.
Sure.
So the fact, and then she says, when the heroes when they snapped back all of life and then snapped Thanos away, the amount of energy the cosmic energy that took, it like woke up the deviants, which is why they have to interfere now, because like deviants are involved. So I'd say
that
like
makes sense.
Whoever made the theory, like that, I mean, it's a good theory because it's pretty much the premise of the movie.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. I saw there's someone in the MCU that's like half a deviant, and I can't remember who it was off the top of my head, but yeah, I'm excited for it.
Interesting.
Oh yeah. So what else you got? It's from Aaron from The Office.
Yeah. Right before Andy
Tore his
does the splits
scrotum.
on the keys.
I tore my scrotum.
Ugh.
Are we allowed to say scrotum on TikTok?
I don't know.
Oh well. Do you have is there any more news info? Anything you got?
No, I'm excited for any idea what the What If episode is for tomorrow?
Yes. So this is the Guardians of the Galaxy episode. So we're gonna see T'Challa again. He partners with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Gamora takes
As
Thanos' place.
I heard that.
Also, Star-Lord is off with Ego fulfilling the purpose, because we saw that in episode 2 where Ego finds Star-Lord pretty much mopping up a restaurant. So Star-Lord's off with them. Ego is off with Ego, and T'Challa's with the Guardians of the Galaxy. But also, this is the episode where Killmonger meets Tony Stark. Well, this is the episode where Killmonger gets involved, because Marvel did just
he was supposed to become Black Panther.
Was it?
Right?
Was that the case?
I believe that's what I thought.
It was something
that's
with
what
Ultron.
I had heard, is that like I'm saying down the line he is set to become this universe's Black Panther.
Okay.
Because he's technically, if T'Chaka is dead, he's the first of male royalty in line.
Yeah. Well, if his brother's dead too.
Unless right.
T'Chaka has to be
exactly.
dead, and Killmonger's dad has to be dead.
Exactly.
Now, I don't know if that's the same episode as Tony Stark, but I think it would be. But also, Marvel posted a picture on Instagram, one of their character posters of Killmonger. So he's 100% going to be in it. But yeah, I'm excited for the episode.
I love Killmonger.
Oh, yeah, I like him too. I like him a lot too. Great character. This is kind of off subject, but have you watched the gallery on Mandalorian, the finale of The Mandalorian?
I've only seen the first season of it. But the gallery on the first season.
You haven't watched either of them? Bro, oh my gosh, you have to watch them.
I've seen the first, like
I know.
the gallery about the first season, not the
Yes.
second.
But all right, there's a gallery episode about season 2, and there's a new gallery episode about the finale with Luke.
Oh,
Dude, you have to watch it. I watched it the other day when I was doing some work around the house, and dude, it was incredible. Just
sounds
hearing.
dope.
There's a part where it's gonna make you think of our show. It's gonna make you think like, holy, I was when I heard, I was like, I wonder if our show was one of those. So you have to watch it.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, it was a great series. Have you watched any of the like making of, like about the Marvel series?
Mm-mm.
Are you serious?
I'm dead
Bro,
serious.
they're so interesting. They did one about I just haven't watched the Loki one. I watched the one on Falcon Winter Soldier and WandaVision. But I haven't watched the Loki one. Dude, you got to watch these.
I
They're
will 100% check it out.
just you know, that's where the picture of George Lucas holding Grogu came from. That's like, dude, there's so many things and like stories that we've seen on social media. They've come from the information we get on those, dude. They're super good. I'm surprised you haven't seen them. Didn't we do a reaction to the first gallery?
Mm-hmm.
Is that still on our channel? I don't remember.
I'm not sure. That was a while
I
ago.
haven't taken it off.
That was a long
figured it
time
was
ago.
something with copyright. Yeah, that was a while ago. Dang. So yeah, Star Wars Visions coming out next week.
Excited
Super
for that.
hype about that. Then after that, it's Book of Boba Fett. So, goodness.
Also set for a December release, right?
Yeah. Man, we're gonna have a lot of late night, early mornings in December.
Yeah.
Hawkeye and
hopefully we'll both have some off time around there, so
yeah.
So it won't be too big of an issue.
Well, I mean, hopefully we'll be able to record.
Hopefully we'll be able to
together.
do a couple together. Yeah, no.
Did you see Marvel confirmed 5 movies, record-breaking 5 movies for 2023, untitled,
and then 4 for 2024?
Dude, oh man, dude, it's incredible. Is there?
That'd be insane.
Yeah, and then all these, we're getting 5 Marvel movies. We have next year all the series coming out for Star Wars. We have Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Is Miss Marvel and She-Hulk still slated for this year?
I never thought they were slated for this year.
Miss Marvel, they said Miss Marvel was slated for this year.
I remember making a TikTok about Miss Marvel.
I thought I had heard a She-Hulk as well, but I could be wrong.
Well, I remember making a TikTok about Miss Marvel, and I thought that it was. Man, now I don't remember exactly. I remember talking about the news that Hawkeye was going to be coming in 2021. But I cannot remember what the yeah, look it up really quick. Miss Marvel release.
It says 2021.
Huh, okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah, that'll be dope. That'll be super dope, man. I wonder where that fits. Yeah, that'll be dope. There's not much to say about that because we don't have a ton.
I have no idea.
Yeah. But is there anything else before we go? I feel like there might have been some other stuff, so I just want to make sure we don't leave anything out.
No, I feel like we just about covered it. Nothing too crazy happening this week, but a lot of things are in the works. We know that.
Yeah. Do you see Shang-Chi might not be released in China?
Really?
Yeah, it's something about I don't know, with it being a Chinese character and having a lot of Chinese elements to it, I could see where, if they don't do it perfectly according to
customs and such.
Yeah, customs. Like I could see how that could create an issue. But yeah, I saw that, so I was pretty disappointed because I feel like they would like it. If you're a Marvel fan, why not?
Right.
All right, last call. Anything else?
I think I'm good, man.
All right, ladies and gents. Well, that wraps up episode 46. Again, we can't thank you enough for joining us for another podcast episode. We always love sitting down and chatting with you and, getting you guys on TikTok. So we do thank you for coming, and don't forget to check out our Hawkeye trailer reaction. That will be up tomorrow. Well, we're recording this live on TikTok on Monday, but if you're listening to this, it is already up. So definitely go check that out and come back on Thursday so you can check out our Funko Pop list from Iron Man 3 with the concepts. fully made for you. Well, I think we have 11 pops and 8 of them are being made. So, majority of them we were able to find somebody to make them. So everybody on TikTok, we can't thank you enough for tuning in, and everybody else, you as well. Thank you. We love what we do, and it's only possible because of you guys. So Alec, do you have anything left before we let the people go?
Oh man, if I could retweet all of that right now, I could definitely would. There you go.
Yep. All right, man. Well, again, thank you, and we will see you in the next video. But until then, may the Force be with you.
Remember, the Force will be with you, always.